Hello my dear students. So what is the meaning of this statement? What is it? Less number of hydrogen. What will happen? Magnesium will come in between the alkyl group and the halogen to give very important Sandmeyer's reaction. This is important, as well as we learnt SN1 and SN2 mechanism. The bond is very easy to break over here. Hello my dear students, welcome back to the session 5 on the chapter haloalkanes and haloarenes. Last class we had learnt about stereochemical aspects of nucleophilic substitution reaction. Also we learnt about SN1 mechanism in optically active compound and SN2 mechanism in optically active compound. Today we learn about elimination reaction, reaction with metals, and also preparation of haloarenes. Okay. So first one is elimination reaction. When haloalkane with beta hydrogen atom is heated with alcoholic solution of potassium hydroxide, there is elimination of hydrogen from beta carbon and the halogen from alpha carbon atom. So what is the meaning of this statement? Here if you see, the carbon atom to which the halogen is attached is called as alpha carbon atom. Okay. The carbon atom next to alpha carbon atom is called as beta carbon atom. Now beta carbon atom can have 1, 2 or all the 3 hydrogen atoms, or here it can have other R groups, alkyl groups which can be there. Okay. So the alpha carbon and beta carbon, we are going to remove something because it's elimination reaction. From beta carbon atom, the hydrogen atom is removed. That hydrogen is called as beta hydrogen. And from alpha carbon atom, halogen will get removed in the presence of alcoholic KOH, okay, to give alkene. This reaction is called as beta elimination reaction, or it is also called as dehydrohalogenation. DE, removal of what? Hydrogen. So hydrohalogenation and halogen. So you are removing what? One hydrogen and one halogen. So it's also called as dehydrohalogenation reaction. Okay. For this I shall write one example. Simple alkyl halide I will take. For example, CH3 CH2 Br, that is bromoethane. Okay, plus KOH, which is alcoholic. Then what is the product formed? From alpha carbon atom, bromine is removed. From beta carbon atom, any one hydrogen is removed. So you will get CH2 double bond CH2, that is you got ethene. And what got removed? We have HBr, which is removed. Okay. So I hope you have understood the reaction. In this example, there is only one carbon atom with beta hydrogen. But if there is more than one beta carbon atom which is there, then the beta elimination will follow Sadzeff rule, or beta elimination will happen according to Sadzeff rule. What is this Sadzeff rule? We'll see. In dehydrohalogenation reaction, the preferred product is that alkene which has greater number of alkyl group attached to doubly bonded carbon atom. Or I shall explain this with an example. Now for example, here we have taken 2-bromo-pentane. Correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second carbon atom, I have the bromine group. Now what happens? This is my alpha carbon atom, but I have one beta carbon atom, second beta carbon atom. Now the hydrogen can be removed either from this beta carbon atom or the other one. Correct? But according to Zaitsev rule, the major product will be one which is highly alkylated around the carbon-carbon double bond. Or I can tell that the hydrogen will be removed from the carbon atom containing less number of hydrogen. So here if you see, this carbon atom has 2 hydrogen atoms. Here this carbon atom has 3 hydrogen atoms. So the major product will be when the hydrogen is removed from the carbon atom containing less number of hydrogen. What is it? Less number of hydrogen. So if I remove the hydrogen from here, I'll get the product as CH3, CH2, CH double bond, CH, CH3, that is Br and one hydrogen is lost. So CH double bond, CH I got. So it is pent 2-ene, which is the major product, it is 81%. Okay. So if the hydrogen is removed from the other beta carbon atom, then I'll get the product as pent 1-ene. You can see the double bond is between 1 and 2 carbon atom. Correct? So from here one hydrogen and from here bromine is removed. So this will become the minor product. So always when more than one beta carbon atom or beta hydrogen atoms are present in an alkyl halide, then the major product will be the one which is formed according to Zaitsev rule. Okay. Now what do you mean by highly alkylated or greater number of alkyl groups? So you see the carbon-carbon double bond is present between these 2 carbon atoms. Here there is one alkyl group, here also there is one alkyl group. So you got 2 alkyl groups present which is attached to the doubly bonded carbon atoms. Here if you see, these are the 2 carbon atoms which is double bonded. Here you have only one alkyl group. That's why this is the minor product, that's the major product according to Zaitsev rule. So I hope you have understood what is Zaitsev rule. It's a very important question for your board exams. They have asked several times. Okay. Next we have reaction with metal. The first one is action of magnesium or formation of Grignard reagent. Very important question for your exam as well. Okay. When alkyl halide is treated with magnesium in dry ether medium, then alkyl magnesium halide is formed which is called as Grignard reagent. So what is happening? We are taking alkyl halide, treating it with magnesium in the presence of dry ether as the solvent to give alkyl R group, magnesium halide which is called as Grignard reagent. Okay. So we'll write an example here. I'll take CH3Cl plus magnesium in the presence of dry ether. What will happen? Magnesium will come in between the alkyl group and the halogen to give CH3MgCl, that is methyl magnesium chloride. Methyl magnesium chloride. Okay, which is a Grignard reagent. Why dry ether? Because Grignard reagent which is formed is very reactive if there is presence of water. That's why we are using the solvent as dry ether. The word dry is used in the absence of water. Okay, that is the first reaction. Next we'll see Wood's reaction. Very important. Several times asked as 1 mark or 2 mark question in your previous paper. Okay, so alkyl halide heated with metallic sodium in dry ether medium to give alkyl halide heated with metallic sodium in dry ether medium to give alkane. So we'll see the reaction. I've taken alkyl halide heated with sodium metal. In the presence of dry ether, you get alkane and sodium halide is removed. So we'll write an example to understand better how exactly alkane you're getting. Okay, I'll take CH3Br plus sodium metal. Okay, in the presence of dry ether as catalyst, what will happen? Sodium will go with bromine. Okay. Now if you observe here, with 2 and 2 we have written to balance. That is because 2 CH3 groups will come with one another to form a bond, and 2 NaBr will be removed. Okay. So you took methyl bromide. Okay, so this is 2 with sodium, dry ether, you got ethane. What is this? This is C2H6, isn't it ethane? Correct? There is one more method of writing the equation if you are not understanding how to write 2 and 2. Okay, that is, I'll take one more example and explain. I'll take C2H5Cl plus 2 atoms of sodium plus I will write one more C2H5Cl here like this. Okay, in the presence of dry ether, 2 Na and 2 Cl, okay, is removed, and C2H5 will get bonded to one more C2H5 group, and you are getting 2 NaCl. So this is butane. C4H10 is butane. So I hope you have understood. Either of methods you can write it, no issues, but you have to write it correctly. Okay. So that's about Wood's reaction. First is preparation of haloarine, that is by electrophilic substitution reaction. Aryl chloride and bromides can easily be prepared by electrophilic substitution of arene with chlorine and bromine respectively in the presence of Lewis acid catalyst like iron or iron chloride. What is it? If you are going to take, for example, you are going to take toluene. Okay, this is toluene. You are going to react with chlorine or bromine. X can be here chlorine or bromine. Okay, in the presence of iron or FeCl3, ferric chloride also you can use as the catalyst in dark, then the halogen will get attached to the ortho position or the para position to give orthohalotoluene or para-halotoluene. The ortho and the para isomers can be easily separated due to large difference in their melting point. Okay, so this is one of the methods to prepare haloarine. Next one is Sandmeyer's reaction. This is important. Again, you will be studying this in amines chapter also. So, when primary aromatic amine, okay, this is primary aromatic amine, that is NH2 group is the amine group which is attached to the benzene ring, that is why primary aromatic amine. Okay, dissolved or suspended in cold aqueous mineral acid is treated with sodium nitrite, a diazonium salt is formed. Okay, mix the solution of freshly prepared diazonium salt with cuprous chloride or cuprous bromide, result in replacement of diazonium group with chlorine or bromine. Now what is it? First here we are showing the preparation of diazonium halide, then we are showing the preparation from that. Okay, so what we are doing is we are taking an aromatic amine, primary aromatic amine. Here it is actually, the name is aniline. Okay, now it is treated with cold solution. See, 273 to 278 Kelvin, that is 0 to 4 degrees Celsius it is. Okay, so in that what you are taking? You are taking sodium nitrite with halogen acid. Okay, that is, it can be HCl or HBr. Okay, now when you are taking a mixture of sodium nitrite with halogen acid in cold condition, what will happen? You will get a benzene diazonium salt. Now you have the benzene group, you have a diazo group. Azo means nitrogen. Okay, diazonium means you have N2, isn't it? That is having the positive charge, and the halogen ion is there next to it. Okay, so this compound is called as what? Benzene diazonium halide. Benzene diazonium halide. Okay, so that is formed. Now you take the benzene diazonium halide and treat it with cuprous chloride or cuprous bromide. Okay, that is, here X can be again chlorine or bromine. Cuprous chloride or cuprous bromide you take. What will happen here is the nitrogen will be liberated. Okay, and you will get an aryl halide, that is, the X will get bonded directly to the benzene ring. So I hope you have understood. If you want me to write the reaction here, example, what we can do is, I'll write benzene diazonium chloride, okay, in the presence of Cu2 Cl2. What will happen over here? We are going to get it as benzene ring with chlorine and nitrogen will be liberated. Okay. Now, if you want to get iodides, that is iodine group attached to the benzene ring, then you take benzene diazonium halide and treat it with potassium iodide. Okay. Here what we are doing is, we are taking benzene diazonium halide, okay, and adding potassium iodide, shaking the solution. No need to add any cuprous halide as the catalyst here. Okay, halogen will get replaced and nitrogen will be liberated. Okay, this is to get iodide as the substituent. Clear? So that is Sandmeyer's reaction. Next we are going to learn about reactions in haloarenes, that is nucleophilic substitution reactions. Now in haloalkanes, we learned that nucleophilic substitution reaction is easy, as well as we learnt SN1 and SN2 mechanism. But in haloarene, nucleophilic substitution reaction is not that very easy how it was in haloalkane. Why exactly? We'll understand. Okay. Aryl halides are extremely less reactive towards nucleophilic substitution reaction, and these are the following reasons. First one is because of the resonance effect. Here if you see this, chlorine has got 6 electrons, that is 3 lone pair of electrons. One of the pair will form the bond, and here what bond is there will go as the charge. So you can see the next resonance structure where there is a double bond between the carbon atom and the chlorine atom, and chlorine has got the positive charge. Why? Because they have lost a pair of electron to form the bond, and the carbon here has got the negative charge. So the charge will go as the bond will form the charge. So now you can see the charge in the negative charge in the para position, whereas still the chlorine and carbon has double bond and the chlorine has positive charge. Again here from charge will form bond will form charge. So again now the charge, negative charge is on the ortho position, and there is a double bond character still which you can see. Because further what will happen? This will again form bond and this can go back to give the first structure as it is. Isn't it? So now the double bond is removed and you will get one more resonance structure, which is nothing but what is shown in the beginning. Here, why exactly nucleophilic substitution reaction is difficult? In nucleophilic substitution reaction, what happens? The nucleophile, for example OH minus, has to substitute the halogen. But if you see the resonance structure in 1, 2 and 3 structure also, you can see there is a double bond character between the carbon and the halogen atom. So it is much difficult to break these bonds. Correct? Also, you can see there is negative charge which is moving around in the benzene ring also, and the nucleophile also is negatively charged. So it becomes difficult for nucleophilic substitution reaction due to resonance and also the double bond character between the halogen and the carbon atom. It takes a lot of energy to break those bonds and be substituted with the nucleophile. So this is the first reason. The second reason is difference in hybridization. Now if you see haloarene, here what happens? The halogen is attached to sp2 hybridized carbon atom. We know in benzene ring all the carbon atoms are sp2 hybridized, whereas in haloalkane the halogen atom is attached to carbon atom which is sp3 hybridized. Correct? Now, if you take the percentage of S character in sp2 hybridization, the S character is 33.3% and sp hybridization it is 25%. So, this becomes more electronegative and the bond is very difficult to break, whereas the bond is very easy to break over here. Okay, that is the second reason. The third reason is instability of phenyl cation. So what happens here is, even for example the halogen is removed, it will form a phenyl cation like this. Okay, and this is highly unstable. That is the third reason. Okay, fourth reason is high electron density on benzene. We saw in the resonance structure there is the negative charge is moving around in the benzene ring, correct? Also, the electron density on the benzene ring is really high and the nucleophile also is having a negative charge or a extra electron which is present on the nucleophile. So what happens when they come closer? They will start repelling. That is the reason nucleophilic substitution reactions is difficult in haloarenes. So what are the four reasons why the nucleophilic substitution reactions are difficult? First reason is because of the resonance effect. It becomes very difficult for breakage of the carbon and chlorine double bond. Okay, that is the first one. Second one is difference in hybridization of the carbon atom to which the halogen is attached. Third is instability of the phenyl cation, and also the last one is benzene is electron rich and it has got high density of electron which makes the nucleophilic substitution reactions really very difficult. So we will see if actually the nucleophilic reactions happen. First one, replacement by hydroxyl group. So if you are taking a chlorobenzene, okay, can be converted to phenol by heating with aqueous sodium hydroxide solution at the temperature of 623 Kelvin and the pressure of 300 atmospheres. Okay, so what is happening here? See, you require a very high condition, 623 Kelvin temperature and 300 atmospheric pressure when you are treating it with sodium hydroxide. Only then chlorine can be substituted with OH group. Okay, next, in chloronitrobenzene. So what we are doing is, we are not taking only chlorobenzene. Now we have added the nitro group to the benzene ring. So in chloronitrobenzene, is the substitution of the halogen with the nucleophile easy? We shall see. So if you see the first reaction, we have only one nitro group in the para position. Correct? Now we have one nitro group in the para position, and if you are heating it at 443 Kelvin with sodium hydroxide, and then if acid hydrolysis happens, what will happen? The chlorine can be substituted with OH group. Okay, now if you have two nitro groups in ortho as well as in para position, then you see the temperature required is a little lesser, that is 368 Kelvin. What will happen? Chlorine can be substituted with the OH group. Okay, now if we have the nitro group in both the ortho positions and in the para position, you see both ortho position and para position, if it is present, only if you warm it with water, chlorine can be substituted with OH group. So what is happening here? Nitro group is a electron withdrawing group. So it is pulling the electron towards itself. Thus the electron density on the benzene ring is reducing, because of which the substitutions are becoming easier. So if we have only one nitro group, a little less temperature compared to with no nitro group. There you required 623 Kelvin. Here you require a little lesser temperature. Similarly, if two nitro group, still lesser temperature. If you have three nitro group, then it becomes very easy for substitution. So if in the presence of an electron withdrawing group, nucleophilic substitution reaction is becoming easier in haloarene. Okay, so I hope you have understood this particular reaction. Next class, we will be learning about electrophilic substitution reactions and reaction with metal in haloarenes. So, I hope you have understood today's class. Thank you, my dear children. Stay focused, stay tuned.